They thought you would crawl back, hands trembling, voice cracking, begging for a scrap of mercy. They laughed at your pain, played their little games, pushed you into the fire just to see if you'd burn. But what they never realized, what their tiny little minds couldn't comprehend, is that some people don't burn. Some people walk through the flames and come out the other side, smiling. Oh, but they wanted to break you, didn't they? Strip you down, tear you apart, make you doubt yourself, make you question your worth. They wanted to hear you plead, to watch you suffer, to see you shatter into 1,000 little pieces they could sweep under their feet. But here's the joke, the real punchline, the only thing that broke was their illusion of control. See, they thought they had you figured out, thought you were weak, thought you needed them, thought you were just another pawn on their little chessboard. But you had a different script in mind, didn't you? You weren't a pawn. You weren't even a player. You were the whole damn game. And when the time came, you didn't beg, you didn't kneel, you flipped the board over and watched their world collapse. Ah, the look in their eyes when they realized the truth, that you weren't the helpless little puppet they thought you were, that you weren't afraid anymore, that the pain they tried to drown you in only made you stronger. And now they're scrambling, trying to rewrite the story, trying to convince themselves that they're still in control. But deep down, deep in that rotting little core of theirs, they know the truth. They lost. And you? Oh, you didn't just survive. You thrived. You took every wound, every scar, every betrayal, and you turned it into something they could never understand. Power. Real power. The kind that doesn't need approval, doesn't need permission, doesn't need validation from the very people who tried to destroy you. You took the pen out of their hands and wrote the final chapter yourself. And in that chapter, they don't win. They don't even exist. Because that's the real nightmare, isn't it? Not losing control, not losing power, but being forgotten, being erased from the pages of your story like they never even mattered. Like their games, their lies, their cruelty were nothing more than background noise in the legend you were always destined to become. And now they watch from the shadows, whispering your name, wondering how they let you slip through their fingers. They wonder why their words don't sting anymore, why their absence doesn't leave a void, why their name doesn't even cross your mind. Because the truth is, you didn't need them. You never did. They were the distraction, the test, the storm you had to walk through to see just how untouchable you really are. Oh, but here's the real beauty of it. They don't even realize they're the ones in the cage now. See, people like them, they thrive on control, on manipulation, on the sick, twisted pleasure of watching others crumble under the weight of their cruelty. But when you refuse to play the game, when you strip them of their power, when you stand there, unshaken, unbothered, smiling in the face of their little schemes, oh, that is their worst nightmare. Because now they're the ones drowning in their own irrelevance, suffocating in the silence of your indifference. They reach for you, hoping for a reaction, a flicker of pain, a trace of the old youth, the one who cared, who craved their approval, who gave them the satisfaction of your suffering. But you don't even flinch. They scream your name in their own heads at night, wondering how they lost their grip. They replay the moments, the words, the games, trying to figure out where it all went wrong. But here's the kicker, it was never right to begin with. The power they thought they had, it was an illusion, a fragile little fantasy built on the assumption that you'd always stay small, stay afraid, stay within the little box they built for you. But you outgrew them. And nothing terrifies them more than the realization that you don't even hate them. No, hatred would mean you still care. And that's the worst part for them, isn't it? Not that you fought back, not that you survived, but that you simply moved on. You walked away from their story and wrote your own. A story where they're nothing more than a footnote, a forgotten chapter in a book they'll never get to finish. A story where you didn't just win, you erased the very game they thought they were playing. And now, my dear friend, what happens next? Oh, they'll try. Oh yes, they'll try. Desperate little creatures clawing at the remnants of a story that no longer belongs to them. They'll rewrite the past, paint themselves as the victims, weave a tragic little tale where you were the villain all along. How dare you walk away? How dare you refuse to kneel? How dare you exist beyond the prison they built for you? But let's be honest, shall we? What do they really fear? It's not your strength, not your resilience. No. They fear your absence, because without you, there's no audience for their performance. No mirror to reflect their false grandeur. No victim to justify their cruelty. Without you, their mask cracks, their kingdom crumbles, their world turns hollow. And the best part, you don't even have to lift a finger. No revenge, no grand gestures, just silence. Sweet, deafening silence. That's what breaks them. That's what keeps them awake at night, staring at the ceiling, replaying conversations that no longer matter. You see, they wanted you to beg, to cry, to grovel at their feet. They wanted your pain to be their masterpiece, but instead, you disappeared. You erased their name from your heart, their voice from your mind, their presence from your world. You became a ghost in their story. And oh, how they hate that. Because now, the power they once held, it's in your hands. And the best revenge, the only revenge, is to simply live as if they never existed. So let them wonder. Let them drown in their own regrets. Let them rot in the emptiness of their own making. And you just keep walking. Because you don't need to write their ending. They already did it themselves.